Hi, my name is Johnny MacNeil, and today I'm going to talk to you about gender pronouns and why they matter. Historically, gender identity has been equated to one's biologically assigned sex at birth, or as a binary of male or female. And only recently has there been a growing awareness and appreciation for how gender identity is an internal process in one's development, and a part of us that each individual can only truly understand for themselves. While each society may have certain values, norms, or attributes associated with gender, the degree that individuals fully, partially, or in no way identify with these norms can vary. As opposed to being stagnant, gender identity is fluid, and gender pronouns communicate the degree that individuals identify with these socially constructed ways that we think of gender. The two main categories of gender pronouns are gendered pronouns and gender-neutral pronouns. Gendered pronouns denote that an individual identifies with a specific gender, either male, using he, him, his, or female, using she, her, hers. Gender-neutral pronouns denote that an individual either identifies with neither gender, male or female, or experiences moving between genders and feels that neither one category fully encapsulates their gender identity. Gender-neutral pronouns are they, them, theirs, and could be used by individuals identifying as gender nonconforming, gender non-binary, or gender fluid. Misgendering occurs when an individual either intentionally or unintentionally refers, addresses, or uses language to describe an individual that does not align with that individual's affirmed gender identity. Using gendered pronouns to refer to an individual who uses gender-neutral pronouns, or using incorrect gender pronouns are both forms of misgendering, and states like New York and California have strict laws prohibiting misgendering in the workplace. Regardless of intention, misgendering is harmful and can contribute to feelings of stigmatization, lack of acceptance, and a sense of exclusivity when it comes to acknowledging different gender identities. There are many different ways to go about avoiding misgendering. One of the best ways is to avoid assumptions. Don't rely on your own beliefs or perceptions as to how another individual identifies. Asking. Asking an individual, "What are your gender pronouns?" is a direct form of communication denoting both respect and awareness for different gender identities, and reiterates the message that each individual's gender identity is something personal and not something that can be judged or determined by others. This also ensures that you're using the proper gender pronouns going forward. Introductions and stating your own gender pronouns when meeting new people is another useful way of getting into the habit of integrating gender pronouns into everyday life. This also establishes an expectation and comfortability for all individuals to state and confirm their own gender pronouns, regardless of being cisgender, gender nonconforming, gender non-binary, or gender fluid. Gender pronouns are an important part of everyone's identity. Avoid using passive language. Instead of saying X identifies as a woman or X prefers she, her, hers pronouns, say X is a woman or X's pronouns are she, her, hers. Using active and affirming language communicates recognition and acceptance of another person's gender identity as something that is versus something that might be externally contested, debated, or perceived as otherwise. Finally, engage in conversations with others about the importance of gender pronouns and communicate that being aware of different gender identities and different modes of gender expression is a value that is important to you. As stated, misgendering can be both intentional or unintentional. However, the way one goes about resolving instances of misgendering can be a powerful opportunity to communicate acceptance, awareness, and recognition of one's actions going forward. The most important part of resolving instances of misgendering is to avoid defensiveness. Making excuses or rationalizing your actions only compounds feelings of discomfort and fails to acknowledge the issue at hand. The reasons or circumstances that led to the behavior are irrelevant, and what's most important is focusing on the feelings of the individual versus your own. Defenses also impose judgment instead of acceptance, And while someone's gender identity may or may not be informed by certain gendered aesthetics or gendered constructs, it's not up for you to decide or determine how each person chooses to express themselves. If you're aware that you've misgendered an individual, seek out that person, apologize for your actions, establish clarity, and communicate that you will be more mindful going forward. If made aware by a third party, thank them for bringing this to your attention, seek out the individual whom you've misgendered, apologize for your actions, and communicate that you'll be more mindful going forward. If made aware by the individual themselves, thank them for bringing this to your attention and apologize for your actions and express an earnest message that you will do better going forward. Thanking the individual for bringing this to your attention immediately establishes comfortability and a safe environment where the individual does not feel challenged, questioned, or judged. This also takes responsibility for your actions and validates misgendering as something that is unacceptable and that you are taking ownership to improve on going forward. When you take ownership instead of challenging, contesting, or defending your actions, you're communicating a sense of respect and taking the opportunity to address misgendering in a respectful, validating way. Unfortunately, this response may be unfamiliar to individuals with a history of their gender identity being challenged or questioned, and this response to misgendering can be deeply meaningful for individuals who have not received this type of affirmation or validation in the past. I hope that you've enjoyed this video on the importance of gender pronouns. For more information, please feel free to check out our website at mytherapynyc.com.